Hey guys, Hadrian here, back here with yet another video. In today's Hunter x Hunter video, it's quite interesting. I want to talk about why martial law benefits Tserriednich. Now you might be thinking, benefits Tserriednich? How is that possible? Martial law is the ultimate trump card that Benjamin has to win the succession contest. It's where he gets the royal army under his control and he can quarantine all the princes and criminally investigate them. Well, we saw at the end of chapter 408, it's officially been ordered. Benjamin's trump card is now in play. Everyone is under his jurisdiction. Well, that actually benefits Tserriednich because Tserriednich, for the last 30 chapters, has not been participating in the succession contest. He's been entirely focused on learning Nen. We know this because we've seen him lose weight, we've seen him fatigued, and we've seen him in a completely different state as to when he first started learning Nen. And we also see this because he's completely abandoned his mafia family and they've been left stranded. He is not doing anything like all the other princes are. He's essentially left it to all his underlings and he's gone, you know what, I'm going to learn Nen, then I'll come back. And the reason why this is so beneficial to him is that he's been training in the exact situation that he needs it for. He has been training to go into Zetsu without getting distracted. We've seen him on the treadmill, we've seen him talking whilst in Zetsu, and his Zetsu's not come off. He's kept his form. And this is perfect because he's been preparing himself unknowingly for this exact situation. Of course, because he is the higher of the princes, you know, there's the hierarchy between the lower princes and the higher princes. He is from the first queen, so they're not just gonna chuck him in jail. They're gonna like politely escort him into a room and lock him there. But he's gonna be able to practice his Nen whilst be getting put in confinements. This is perfect for him because we know that he's got the defense of 2 Nen beasts, right? And the thing about when you're in a locked room is it limits the area at which an enemy can attack. It's very hard to ambush someone that's in a cell. So this is perfect for him. He can just be there practicing his Zetsu, practicing his aura, and he's already had some time to spar. By the time this has happened, it's been a few days since we've left Tserriednich, and we can see that he will have gotten a lot more proficient and he will have practiced his abilities. Now, as we see with Nen, at a certain point, you can sort of teach yourself and ameliorate yourself on your own. And he is getting to that stage if he isn't already there. This just means that through his, of course, convenience of being the 4th prince of the 1st queen, he can have favors done for him. We saw that Benjamin requested that his soldiers be sent to Prince Wobble just because he's the 1st prince. They get that benefits. Of course, Tserriednich, he can move people around so that he can constantly be getting information that he needs on how to ameliorate his Nen. This essentially puts him in the situation that he would have wanted to be in anyway. There's no distractions. There's no possibility of being ambushed. He's there in a room by himself with as much knowledge and as much people going in and out as he wants. And he's just there learning about Nen. It's absolutely perfect for him. And I think that this is going to be Benjamin's ultimate mistake. Because as they're taking out the princes, and they're going to take them, of course, to criminate them, right? Because they can use the royal army to fabricate evidence and use that as their means to take them out. So Benjamin's going to have his hands completely full. He's going to have everyone under martial jurisdiction. So there's not going to be much room to play around with. Whilst it does give him the ultimate trump card, he's got a lot of food on his plate. And this is perfect for Tserriednich because he still hasn't developed a Hatsu. Now this is what's so scary about Tserriednich, right? Is that he's got these 2 Nen beasts, one of them that just came automatically and the other coming from the Yoren ceremony. And through his Zetsu, he's got this ability where he can look further into time and see into the future. And he still doesn't have a Hatsu or a particular style of Nen. He hasn't personalized it to himself. And part of the reason is he's always sort of got his guard up to some degree, right? There's always people around him. Of course, he saw that Theta shot him. So that was a bit of a stumbling block. And now he's going to be left completely by himself, safe and protected by the royal army. Whilst, yes, this is a battle for succession, it's actually illegal to kill a prince. Of course it is. So the royal army aren't going to be acting reckless. They're only going to do it through Benjamin finding loopholes and being sneaky. So as much as Tserriednich is a very intelligent, he's a very astute guy, he is safe as long as he doesn't do anything stupid. And I doubt he will. He is a man that's absolutely obsessive. In fact, the changing conditions is going to hurt everyone else more because, of course, they're very much control freaks. Whilst Tserriednich, yes, he likes being in control, he's willing to let it go if he can find a greater purpose. To him, I'm sure immediately, before he even has time to think, he's going to come up with this plan I've come up with. He's too clever not to, right? This is the perfect opportunity for him to advance and to speed up his Nen training, whilst, of course, Benjamin, now that he's declared martial law, he needs to go through the due process to get everything in place to then go after him. Tserriednich has a ticking time bomb on him. He's got time where he is completely safe. And that is a very, very scary proposition. Now, of course, people might question the nebulous of Tserriednich being a legitimate first prince of the queen now that we've seen that Halkenberg is, and their faces are very different. Tserriednich doesn't share a lot of the facial features with the first queen, but whatever comes from that, I doubt it'll be prioritized during the martial law. With martial law, everything is on pause, It's a time to, whatever reason they've set up for martial law, they need to justify it. We saw that he dropped his mafia group. He pretty much, just ignored them for a while. And also with Melody, he wasn't the most aggressive in getting her. And now he doesn't have to think about any of that. Now he's got tunnel vision. And this is extremely frightening. I mean, Benjamin, oh my goodness. You have made the biggest mistake you could have ever made. I think that Benjamin from the start should have gone right after Tserriednich. But it makes sense why they didn't, because no one knows that Tserriednich can use Nen. And that's a scary thing because, of course, Halkenberg, as he's been learning Nen, it's become so obvious through, the multiple people, the multiple conditional Nen he's got, and the massive rumblings. So, of course, Halkenberg has become immediate threats. But Tserriednich has been in the background. He's been lurking there for a long time. We haven't seen him for a while. Who knows how much of a monster he'll be when he comes back, because everyone else is slowing their process and learning Nen. Of course, you've got people that are already kind of masters at Nen. As we saw, Benjamin was already proficient at Nen before, of course, the departure of the Black Whale. But everyone is always at the stage where they're ameliorating. We see this across where he's trying to add, to his skill hunter booklets. He needs to fill out conditions to make himself stronger. And we see that Nen is something that can be refined over time. And Netero is the perfect example of that. So he is in a fast track to catch up. Whilst everyone's moving forwards at a steady pace, he is steaming through. And as we see in life, as we see in Hunter x Hunter, momentum is everything. It's how Gon and Killua are able to get stronger so much faster. They went from Wing to Bisky to Hisoka helping them out. They had all these perfect jumping blocks to get themselves moving faster and faster. And then, of course, they had kites. And Tserriednich has found himself in a similar position. He's now his second Nen teacher, and he's about to be put in a situation where he can practice his Nen without strong scrutiny. Because the whole point about being isolated in quarantine is that you can't escape and you can't access the outside world. So by extension, the outside world is limited in how it can access you. And the final point that I want to touch on in this video is that Benjamin is not in a situation where he can be the most proficient. We've seen this, that he has lost Balzimico, who is his main strategist. So he's very much in a conundrum himself already. And just how much trust Benjamin put on him. Balzimico was very much at the core of Benjamin's empire and Benjamin's conquest towards becoming the king of Kakin. Without him, that's an absolutely stratospheric blow. At first, Benjamin was saying, it's fine, we can use men, we can have them being expendable for now. But he's told himself recently, no, we can't be losing more people because a lot of his big players have died. We see that through on his hands. You can see them on his palm. And there's even been somebody being taken over by Halkenberg's crew. So he is very much in a vulnerable position. And this very much seems like a last resort, right? He must have been desperate, or there must have been a serious situation to activate martial law. But if you ask me, I believe it's because Halkenberg has attempted to take Benjamin's life, and Benjamin's been taken by surprise, and he's off guard, and he doesn't know who or what to trust. So he's using his ultimate trump card because he feels trapped and cornered. What else do you do when you can't even trust the people right by your side? You put everything down at once. You put the whole house down, right? Benjamin might just be doing this as a defensive measure. He might just be using martial law to buy himself time. So in the chaos, Tserriednich is going to have a lot of time. Why would Benjamin, in a position where he's very vulnerable, go after one of the toughest princes to kill? Of course, the first queen. You'd probably want to go after the lower princes, or even just stabilize yourself before starting an initiative. So this all plays into Tserriednich's hands. And yes, this is why I believe that everyone in the Black Whale is cooked, whether it be from Morena or the monster that's being cooked up in Tserriednich. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to my chapter 409 chapter review. So if you want to see that, subscribe to the channel. And yes, if you got any thoughts on this theory, please comment down below. I'd love to talk to you all about it. If you got a suggestion for a video you'd like me to do, please leave it down below. And this was Hadrigon as always, here of the daily Hunter x Hunter videos. I hope you've all had an amazing day. I wish you all the best. This is Hadrigon. Peace out.